Good morning, students. Dear students, today we are going to learn descriptive paragraph writing. And under this category, we are going to learn about how to give a factual account of a person. So this descriptive paragraph writing, it is a short piece of composition in the form of a paragraph in 100 to 120 words, right? So it means to describe a person. So when we talk about descriptive paragraph where we are talking about a person, when we give a factual detail of person, that means we are describing a person and it needs to draw a complete mental picture of the person. So when you are writing, the writer lays emphasis on the objectivity and the facts. So he usually keeps in view the order of the facts in a way to project the impression of the unity. That means all the sentences in such piece of writing should be interrelated. So when you are thinking about a person about whom you are writing, then you have to first completely think about all the factual details, all the qualities, the physical appearance, the traits, the professional qualifications that a person had, how people think about him. So everything is to be first collected and then it should be presented in a way that all the facts are interrelated. Thus, the writer is not expected to indulge in any elaborate or philosophical introduction. Right? It should be descriptive and detailed, but it should not be elaborated excessively. Thus, when you are writing, your writing style should be very clear and simple. Thus, such piece of information, such piece of writing, it actually does not provide for any type of poetical style or any other way of elaborated writings, right? So when you are writing a description, so you have to give detailed information, but see to it that you don't include any opinions or speculations, right? So you don't have to mention about any personal opinion that you have. You have to write in general about the person and don't give any fake information. Don't write about any facts based on assumptions. You have to be very particular about writing that person, and in general the person's details are to be mentioned, right? So, when we are describing a person, few things are to be considered. Like if you are describing, you may add about the height of the person. You can say that a particular man is tall in height, you can say short, medium height. So, such kind of expressions can be used. You can write about the build, like the person is thin, underweight, plump, strong, sturdy, fat, or overweight. You can talk about the hair, long, short, curly, black, brown or gray. So remember, जिनके सफेद बाल होते हैं तो हम कहते हैं they have gray hair. We don't say white hair, right? You can also describe about the person's eyes, dark, brown, big, small, etc. You can also mention about the complexion, skin color that they have, the dark complexion, fair complexion, wheatish or pale. Then you must write about the physical appearance, that whether they are good looking, charming, ugly, smart, handsome, beautiful. Now keep this in mind when you are describing a male, then you must use the word handsome. Beautiful is used for females, right? You can use pretty. So that way you can use the words when you are describing the physical appearance of a person. Then you can also talk about the good qualities. You can add these words: sincere, intelligent, diligent, warm, patient, soft spoken, selfish, kind, honest, innovative, confident, punctual. But it is always suggested that avoid talking negative about the person. So you should not include these kind of word as it is written here, selfish. Then if the person had certain unique kind of habits, so you can write about that, so habits if any. Then you can also mention about the education or the profession of the person, right? So educational qualification or what in which profession that person is, you can talk about that. Then any special traits that he had in his character. So something unique you find in his character that you can talk about. Then, when writing a description, you must keep this in mind that you use active or passive voice. And if you remember, when we were discussing about the passive voice, we had learned that how passive voice, the usage of passive voice, it actually enhances our speech power, right? It gives variety in our narration, variety in our description. So, if you use passive form, it will actually enhance your writing. And simple present tense or present tense is used to write a description, because the person about whom you are writing is still alive. Then you have to use present tense, right? In case you are talking about a person who is no longer alive, he is dead already, and you're describing about that person, then in that case you can use past tense. Otherwise the description of a person will always go in present tense. And you have to give always concrete examples and anecdotes. Concrete means the facts which are true, where you can find proof of those factual details. So give only those facts which are true, and don't go for false details about the person. Or anecdote means kind of incidents, stories about the person. So do not refer to any kind of thing which is not true. Right, student? So keep this in mind. Now, when we talk about description, descriptive paragraphs, the marking scheme for your paragraph is of 5 marks, right? In your examination, it is for 5 marks, and word limit is 100 to 120 words. So, bifurcation is given this way: title carries 1 mark, content 2, and expression 2. So, it is required that you write the title, give a title to your paragraph, and then whatever you write in the content, 2 marks are there. Expression includes your grammatical expressions, the creativity that you use, the spelling errors, everything is counted under expression, right? Let's take an example. Now, I have taken this example description of our prime minister, and some hints are given. So, you may get the question on descriptive paragraph in two forms. One is just like you did when you were in your junior classes, you have done about the bio sketches, right? So, when you were given the question for bio sketch, you were given some hints also. So, you're provided that way the hints for the question. So, here also, when you're describing a person, in a question you may get some hints, and on the basis of those hints you have to develop your paragraph, right? So here, description of our prime minister. So the hints are given: name Narendra Damodar Das Modi, qualities of a true leader: honest, hardworking, humble, different from other leaders, no desire of name and fame, mission service to the nation, expectation from him to take country to greater heights. So these are some of the hints given to describe our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So when you are talking about this personality, here you cannot write anything based on the speculation, right? You have to expand, you have to write the paragraph on the basis of the given hints. Somewhere or the other you can add some additional information which the public know in general, right? Where people know about him in general, so you can add those qualities, but you are not going to write any fact which is not true or which is not known to anyone. So here is the example: our Prime Minister Narendra Damodar Das Modi. You can also write simply the title our Prime Minister. Okay, so Narendra Damodar Modi is my favorite leader. He is the Prime Minister of India. He has all the true qualities of a true leader. He is honest and hardworking. He is very humble. His simplicity connotes him. Connotes means defines him, relates to him. There is no trace of any pride in him. He is very different from the other political leaders. He has no desires for any name, fame, or riches. He is faultless and blotless personality. So blotless means उनकी चरित्र में कोई भी दाग नहीं है. He is very clean and pure personality. Service to the nation is the only mission of his life. all the Indians hold him in high esteem and expect that he will take the country to greater heights. Now, see, whatever facts we have written, we have just linked the hints which were given in the question, right? Somewhere or the other, some additions were there, and those were general observation about the Prime Minister. So, this way, you have to develop a paragraph, and you will not, you should be very careful when you are describing a person there. Now, students, this is the question for practice. So you have to do it at home. That the question is, your friend could not attend the marriage of your sister. So he desires to know about the groom from you. Groom means जो दूल्हा है, तो आपकी जो बहन है उसके दूल्हे के बारे में इंक्वायर करना चाहता है, वो जानना चाहता है कि आपका ग्रूम जो आपकी सिस्टर है उसका ग्रूम कैसा था, कैसा दिख रहा था. So describe the groom to your friend in about 100-120 words. So now see, this is a different kind of question where you can be a little bit imaginative, and you can use all the points that were discussed earlier, that you can write about height, you can write about your his physique, etc. So remember, the basic things that are needed is you have to describe the physical appearance. You can add about good qualities. You can also add about the education, profession, and general opinion about public that the public have, and uh, how that person is to others in general, right? So in this way, you will define a personality and write about person, describing it in a paragraph, describing the person in a paragraph. So do this question, and we will meet next in the next session. Have a nice day, student.